Matchmaking is nothing like dating apps. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Daphney and I own a company called Fern Connections. I want to talk about the differences between dating apps and matchmaking because people come to me and they are so confused. We are not a dating app, nor are we a dating service, nor are we trying to be. Let me tell you, honey, because matchmaking is so different from dating apps, right? And it's really kind of different from dating services. And let me just say, I know there's a lot of people on Instagram and Facebook, and all these people got their groups out here calling themselves matchmakers, honey. They're not. Let me just tell you, they're not. They're just groups of people who I appreciate because, they're just trying to help each other to find people. But it's not matchmaking. It's not real matchmaking. Let me just tell you. And there may be some value to it. I'm not saying there isn't. All I'm saying is that matchmaking is a whole nother ball game. It is an investment in you trying to find you a long-term person. So let's just get into the differences between matchmaking and dating apps. First of all, we're going to bring you better qualified people because we're vetting these people ourselves, right? We're doing background checks on them, right? And let me just say, when you're on a dating app, you don't know who you're getting. You have no idea. You can take some steps to be safe and to be cautious, right? But you really don't know who this person is on the other side of this app, honey, or even if it is the person that they say they are. So let's just get into that. One of the things that you don't have to worry about with matchmaking is catfishing. As we see the people, we vet the people, right? We know the people. Versus when you're on a dating app, honey, you could be getting anybody and everybody is not the same thing. Let me just say this. And let me just say another thing about, using a matchmaker. It really is a much safer approach, right? And I'm not saying it's perfect. All I'm saying is that we do background checks on folks, right? We vet people for you, right? Versus the fact that, when you're on a dating app, maybe some dating apps are trying to do some of that. They're trying to keep people as safe as possible. But there really is no good way to know because thanks to technology that we love, people use filters. I'm not really using a filter so you can see all my stuff, right? But, on apps, on computers, on technology, people can use filters, honey, or they can use old photos. I got some old photos. I'm not trying to use them on a dating app because I want people to see who I am, who I truly am. This is genuinely me. I got a little bit of stuff right here, a little bit of stuff right here. It is what it is, honey. But you don't get that necessarily on a dating app because people are always fudging information. They're always using filters. They're always changing their age, honey. All these different things. They're trying to make themselves look slimmer, whatever they're trying to do. That's what they do. So, the thing about, I just want to say, I know dating apps, can be valuable to some people. I know that you think that's the only opportunity you have to meet people, but it really isn't. I actually say to people, meet people in person, right? If if it's all about the money and you can't spend any money, to meet people, then I get that, right? So because matchmaking is an investment, it does cost a little bit of money. We try to make it affordable by having a lifetime database membership for $500, right? But there are no guaranteed matches, but we will help you as much as possible and we'll put you in front of as many people as possible. To me, it's a lot safer, and especially for those who are going to pay for dating apps. And I always recommend people, if you can, to pay for dating apps, right? So that's my big thing. And let me just say that, for matchmaking, it's not an instant gratification. Like dating apps, honey, you can go out and meet somebody on a dating app tomorrow and be out that afternoon or that evening having drinks with them, right? It's not necessarily like that with matchmaking, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a process where, we find out who you're looking for, what you're looking for, We set you up, with a dating profile, and then we go out to look for you people, right? Now, these are people that you want to be in long-term relationships with. So they're not like somebody you just go meet on the dating app, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work, right? But you got to go through a lot of what they call kissing of frogs, honey. You got to kiss a lot of frogs on dating apps before you can get to someone that you think is great. Someone that you think that you may want to like continue to see, continue to get to know, continue to date, right? But we actually give you quality people. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that we give you is going to be your person, because that can't be the fact, right? But what I'm saying is that we're going to give you people that are 100% closer to someone you're looking for based on what you've told us, right? And then a lot of assessments that we do, try to help, make it easier for us to find people for you. But you can't get that on a dating app. I don't care how many times you put in information, and look, eHarmony, Honey Date, they probably have the most intensive, I don't know if you call it an application or profile preferences, whatever they want to call it, honey. They go through a lot of stuff, but I'm going to tell you, because I used eHarmony myself in the past, I've never found anyone that was a good, compatible match for me. And that's where matchmaking, I think, makes a huge difference, is that we are looking for people based on compatibility. And we, as a matchmaking company, Fern Connections, are looking for people based on criteria that we know works, right? That has been tried and true. And so it's not like a dating app. Let me just say this. If you are looking for instant gratification, honey, you need somebody to go out on a date with to make you feel good and tell you how cute you are, then you should probably use dating apps, right? Because there's a whole lot of that stuff that happens. But if you're looking for someone long term, if you're looking for someone that you can build something with, and you can afford to invest in yourself, right? And I say this all the time, invest in yourself, honey. If you can afford to invest in yourself, then find a matchmaker. Find someone who can help you. Find a dating coach, right? Because trying to find people on your own based on what you know and what you've done in the past, it just doesn't necessarily work, right? So I would say, let me just recap really quickly. Let me just do that. Let me recap. Matchmaking is nothing like a dating app. It's nothing. We're talking about real people. We're not talking about algorithms. We're not talking about millions of folks that you get to choose from, people liking your profile one day and, ghosting you the next. We're not talking about people putting photos out there from 10 years ago or 5 years ago. We're not talking about people, swiping on your photo because you're cute, and then when you try to talk to them, they're not interested. We're not talking about any of that stuff. We're not talking about instant gratification where, yes, you have a few messages, you set up a date, that evening or a couple of days later or whatever it is, honey, and then you get there and you're like, oh, this person is nothing like they looked on their profile. This person, doesn't even know how to communicate. This person is already in a relationship with someone else, honey. And so, we're not talking about any of that. We're talking about a process to help you find your long-term person. A process that's going to help you, to be matched with wonderful people. People who have been vetted, people who are professionals, people who have great jobs, people who have, good stuff going on, they're mentally and financially and all the stuff stable, right? That's what we're talking about. And that's the difference between matchmaking and dating apps. Now, having said that, if you are serious about a relationship and if you can afford the investment, then I encourage you to seek matchmaking, right? Now, not all matchmaking is equal, so you want to talk to several people. You want to interview them like they're interviewing you and decide whether or not they're good for you. Look at their, ratings, their reviews. I have to say that, I'm just going to be transparent. We don't have a lot of that. We're a business that's been around for 4 years already. And we don't have a lot of reviews out there, but we do have a good standing with the Better Business Bureau. We have a good standing in the community, honey, that we serve. I would just say, and you can always ask people. Ask people, have you ever used a matchmaker, and would you use one, right? And so let me just say this, because I think it's really important, is that, don't stray away from matchmaking because you don't feel that you can get your needs met quicker than later, right? Matchmaking is all about a long-term process. It's about a lifetime. And so to me, if you can, like I said, invest, if you can afford to, if not, just ask the questions, and to me, even if it just means, coaching or, lifetime database membership, it's better than the hassle and the headache and the frustration of dating apps.